Hello, I would like to welcome you to my kitchen. My name is Sergio Villavicencio. I am the Outreach and Event Coordinator for Plant Power Metro New York, and today I'm going to show you how to make yuca with fiery red bell pepper sauce. Whether you call it yuca, mandioca, manioca, cassava, or any other names, this beautiful tuber is one of the staple starches in several cuisines around the world. Something that is extremely interesting about this is that this is actually a very poisonous tuber and a starch, and it requires to be cooked in order for it to be consumed by us. If you were to eat this completely raw, bad things can happen. Today we're going to be making a beautiful dish called yuca with fiery red bell pepper sauce. And the things that we're going to use today is, aside from these beautiful yucas, we're going to be using red bell pepper, which is wonderful when you prepare it the way I'm going to make it. We're going to use a piece of onion, we're going to use some tofu, we're going to use avocado, 4 pieces of walnuts, and a little bit of garlic puree. For this, we're going to start by actually peeling the yuca. But the one thing that I have to explain to you is this is a beautiful starch that was probably domesticated around 10,000 years ago in central Brazil. From there, it has spread all over the world, but the first evidence that we have of the yuca actually being cultivated comes from a place in El Salvador. It's a Maya infrastructure, and archaeology has been able to determine what kind of foods people have been using for thousands of years, and this is really fascinating. So now that I'm done peeling them, rinsing them, I'm going to cut them in, let's say, 4 pieces. And I'm gonna take one of them, which I'm going to actually boil it. And the other one, I'm actually going to put it on the air fryer. The reason why I put them in the air fryer is because for me it's a lot easier to just pull up the lid and check how well they're done, but they're gonna take around 20 minutes there to get a little bit golden, have some color, and have that crunchiness outside while it gets really soft inside. And the ones that we're going to be boiling, we're going to be boiling them Caribbean style. What does that mean? It means that we're going to add some onions to the water. And I'm gonna use the other piece of onion that I had to just cut them in slices like this. And I'm gonna use this last piece for the rest of the onions. So we have the yuca, we have some onions that we have cut just like this, as you can tell. And let's put them in the water. So a little bit earlier we were boiling some water, and we're going to put the yuca in there. Some pieces that are going to be just delicious. And now we're going to add the onions, just like that. That's all it needs. We don't need to like saute them before in advance or anything like that. We just add them to the water, and you will see how delicious that is going to be. So what do we do next? Next, we're going to put some yuca in the air fryer, and we are just going to put it for like 20 minutes at 350 until it gets a little bit of golden in them. Also next, we're going to grab this beautiful red bell pepper, and we're going to put it directly on the fire. Check this out. I set the fire to the maximum, and I proceed to put the red bell pepper right there for it to char. We're going to give it a few minutes and you will see how beautiful it's going to start to smell soon. Now, I can do this, or I can just cut it in pieces and put it in the oven. If you have an induction stove, you should just use the oven. I think it's going to be a lot better. But if you have gas at home, this is definitely the way to go. You're gonna hear some popping and it's going to start getting some beautiful color very soon. You can see that it slowly is starting to get charred, so we're just going to move it around. In many cases, the skin just falls out by itself. In many cases, you have to pull it off. We also can see how our yuca is starting to cook slowly, and they're gonna be absorbing all those flavors from those beautiful onions. In the meantime, we're going to grab the rest of those onions and we're going to cut them in smaller pieces. This is very simple. It doesn't really matter because in the end you're going to blend everything. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to put them in the oven. If you would like to know how my red bell pepper is doing, well, just look at this. We're going to let it char fully, completely, until it starts smelling ideal. And this is what's going to happen. You can see how the skin starts just peeling apart. We're gonna do this with our fingers lately, but let's just give it a little more. Just a little more. So at this point, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of why am I doing the sauce the way I'm doing it right now. When you char things this way, they become a little sweeter. It caramelizes a little bit. It's just absolutely delicious. We're going to be adding the onions that are in the oven, the red bell pepper that is completely charred, and we're going to slowly take the skin away. We're going to be adding a few nuts just for giving that little fat that the sauce is required to, get together completely. And we're going to be using tofu as well instead of cheese. Tofu will also add to the creaminess. We'll also add with a neutral flavor just to, get everything together. And as you saw in the beginning, we also have avocado because we need fat, and what better than a piece of avocado in that? That's going to be a beautiful sauce. So, look at this beauty. Fully charred. Now everything is going to start falling aside. All this charred skin is going to start peeling. And if you want, you can use a little spoon, which is going to be very helpful in that. Look how clean it's starting to look. See how it falls apart? Look at this side. It's almost there enough, but you get the point. And it's actually leaking a little bit of juices because this thing is completely caramelized. Let me clean up, rinse, and we'll continue in a second. But there is something that I wanted to show you. Earlier today, instead of putting it on the stove directly on the fire, I decided to put one of them in the air fryer. And look at how it looks. It just didn't get fully blackened, but it got the same effect that I wanted while keeping the skin. It's a little bit charred at points, as you can see, but I'm gonna keep it because that's going to be really flavorful. So these are the two ones that we're gonna use right now. Oh man, I can smell it. I can smell it so good. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Look at them. They're absolutely gorgeous.
I need to tell you at the beginning I put some pieces directly into the air fryer, but the ideal thing
is grab when it's cooked like this and then put it into the air fryer, then put it to bake, and it's gonna be different. What I was going for earlier is a flavor that is one of the many uses of yuca, cassava, mandioca, any other name that you can use. And that is a flavor of tapioca. Tapioca is the starch of the yuca that has been turned into flour. Now you're going to find other similar ways to use it as food, which is just mind-blowing. One of them is farofa in Brazil. It's toasted, it's baked a little bit, and it's powdered. It's just absolutely amazing. People eat it with rice and beans. You can sprinkle that on salad and so many other uses. Also in West Africa, you have gari, which is used in other type of dishes that are just as fantastic. So lastly, I just took out from the oven the little pieces of onion that we had put there to char. And they look really good. They smell even better. And now we're going to start putting everything inside the blender. We're going to start with the bell peppers. They are so well cooked that we can just take this central piece with our hands. We don't even need a knife. We're going to do the same one with the other one. Just pull it out. See how easy it comes out. It's incredible. And now we're going to put it on our blender. We're gonna put the onions that we had. We're going to put a little bit of that garlic puree that we had earlier. Yes, that smells great. As I said, we're going to be using the tofu. I'm gonna put only one piece right now. And lastly, we're going to be adding 1/4 of a medium avocado, just for the fat that we need for this all to come together. We're saving one piece of tofu here in case it needs a little more. And let's see what happens now. This is going to be a very tricky shot to make, but here it goes. And I'm gonna put a lid on because I think this is gonna start flying. So now we're going to show you how this is gonna be savored. You can grab a piece of the yuca. You need to hold them a little bit so they stop dripping because there is a lot of Oh, you can see this other piece that is completely cooked. It's so soft and beautiful right now. You can add any salad of your likeness, whatever you want. I am very simple in this one. I'm not preparing a dish for like a restaurant or like a dinner. I'm just gonna enjoy it so much. So good.
And I did not need to add any water on my sauce because it's just creamy enough.
Let's dig in. So we're about to taste them right now, and you have no idea how this smells. It's just absolutely incredible. To have those pieces of boiled yuca with this sauce that we just made, it's absolutely incredible. You can actually put it in the fridge, have them cold. You can add them to a stew. You can do anything with this sauce. It's just absolutely versatile and beautiful. So let's get a little bit of a taste. I wish you were here. And I have a surprise for you. Remember I told you about the ones that I put on the air fryer earlier? Well, those ones are cooked too. And while they're not fully golden, you're gonna see that they have a little bit of color. And the beautiful thing about these ones is that they will have a completely different flavor. They're not gonna taste like the ones that are boiled. They're gonna taste a little bit more like tapioca. I want to thank you for joining us in this recipe. It has been a pleasure to cook for you. I hope that you get to experience this. It's something that is simple yet absolutely fantastic. There are so many ways to do it. You can use hot peppers as well if you want to add them. A nice touch would be, cherry and poblano peppers. You can add some chili peppers that you can find in a produce stand. There are so many other things that you can do. You can stick to the nuts or you can stick to the avocado in order to give the fat that the sauce needs. That's just your choice. Once again, thank you so much. My name is Sergio, and I hope to see you soon.
So, Sergio, that was an amazing demo. What made you think about making yuca and fiery peppers?
Well, I come from Peru, so there are a lot of things we add to pretty much most dishes, and those are sauces. And we try to have a lot of things that are spicy in nature, but we don't necessarily put it in the dish. What we do is we make sauces that are flavorful first, spicy second, and then we add them. Now, the basic difference that I feel with other hot sauces that I've seen is that there is a lot of vinegar in that, and I can't stand that. So the ones that we do used to have, originally are made with oil and whatever pepper or chili you want to highlight, and then either nuts or a piece of cheese or something like that. But now that I am whole food plant-based in my lifestyle, I said, what can I do that is going to end up being the same thing, highlighting those flavors, those profiles, but making sure that the creaminess is there and not necessarily relying on nuts. And that's when I said tofu. So a charred pepper with some chilies, salted sea oil, onions and garlic, blended with a piece of tofu. It's just incredible to put on that yuca. And as you can see, like I also showed a few ways in which you can play with that yuca. You can have the yuca by itself, accompanying thing with just the sauce on top, or you can put it on the oven until it's golden, or if you have an air fryer, you can do that too.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to play with it, and you're not going to go wrong with any of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try it, because when I've eaten yuca before, I'm eating it sort of like the old school way, where I'm boiling it for a long time, and then I'm taking it out and putting it in the pan with the onions and cooking it that way.
Yeah.
So this is a totally new way. And I know, look, I love yuca fries, which we can do in the oven with a little bit of aquafaba. We don't need oil. So, I think this is like an amazing dish. And so hopefully you guys have been here and you've been watching all of the recipes, starting with mine, which was the beet and avocado tartare. And then next, which was a Chef Brandy from Plant Candy, who did the carrot and ginger dressing.
Amazing.
And she did it just on shaved cabbage. But anybody who's ever been to a Japanese restaurant and had that ginger carrot dressing, woo, so good. And the health benefits, lots of vitamin A, great for your eyes, and also your immune system. Absolutely. And then what about Chef Anthony?
Talking about masterful mise en place, it was amazing. I loved how simple, but just looking at the video, you can tell the depths of that flavor. It's just going to be amazing. Like having the sweetness of the sweet potato and the Thai sauce. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's one great thing about Thai food is the savory and the sweet together, right?
Yeah.
And he definitely brought that out.
Yeah.
And as you said, when he was showing his mise en place, he was saying cooking this way, cooking tasty, cooking the whole food plant-based way does not have to take a lot of work.
Not
right.
It becomes fun.
Yeah.
Because when you play and having everything ready and doing it in the right order and process, it's so much fun. It's just a beautiful thing, and that's what's at the bottom of cooking is that language of love for many people.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, and you have to be having fun.
Yeah, I love that you use the word play, because you could even see from my video, like that's our playing. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Why? We eat with our eyes, right? We eat with our nose. We get the smell, the sensory. And then, of course, we want it to be nutritious. That's really why we're doing the work we're doing, is we are offering this to you. So we were glad that you're here to celebrate. What is our theme this year?
Get rooted.
Yes, we are absolutely rooted. And this is our 5th anniversary. Woo, woo, woo. And so we're really excited about that. And then there's a donate button down below. We would love for you to donate.
Pressing it.
Yes, because when you donate, you're actually making it possible for people to have transformed health so that they do not have to suffer with chronic disease through a whole food plant-based diet.
That's right.
So thanks a lot for watching our series. Try these recipes, get this amazing sauce. I love that the recipes are diverse. We've got something from Peru, which is amazing. And then, of course, just the Thai. It's kind of like we went all over the globe with this one, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely amazing. And I, for one, like I never really think, like green onions to mix that with sweet potato, but
I would never have thought that
absolutely
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. If you haven't seen them yet, please go back and watch all the videos. And on April 3rd, what are we doing April 3rd?
We're celebrating our 5th anniversary of Plant Powered Metro New York, and we're going to have a central event that you're invited, and we would love to see you there. So please register for the event, and you will have fun with us.
Just go to our website, plantpoweredmetrony.org. Take care, everybody.